You think you know who your real friends are. You think loyalty shows itself through years, through words, through memories. But Machiavelli would laugh at such naivete, because loyalty, real loyalty, is not what people show you when you're at your best. It's what they hide from you when you're at your worst. Loyalty is not loud. It doesn't post itself online. It doesn't celebrate anniversaries or send reminders. It waits quietly, buried under the pressure of ambition, envy, fear, and opportunity, waiting to either die or be revealed. The truth is, most people are loyal until a better option appears. Most are honest until they have something to gain. Most are kind until they feel threatened. And most of what you believe about people around you is an illusion of convenience. What you think is trust is often just a lack of opportunity for betrayal. So how do you test it? Not with words, not with time, but with pressure, with power, with silence, and with silence-breaking moves. Machiavelli believed that the nature of a man is best revealed in what he does when the stakes are highest. Not when he's comfortable, but when he stands to lose or gain something real. Start with silence, real silence. Disappear for a while. Vanish from the pattern people expect from you. Stop replying instantly. Stop checking in. Stop giving. This isn't about being rude or creating drama. It's a surgical move. Because people get used to the benefit you provide: attention, help, comfort, validation. And when you pull it away, the loyal ones check in. The others drift. They were never tied to you, only to what they got from you. Pay close attention, not just to who reaches out, but how. Are they curious, concerned, respectful? Or are they passive, irritated, guilt-tripping? Loyalty is revealed in the tone, not just the action. A loyal person doesn't demand your return. They watch your silence with patience. They understand it. A fake one feels entitled to you. They interpret your absence as betrayal, because they were never with you. They were just using you as a mirror to their own needs. Now introduce scarcity. Be less available. Not cold, just selective. You want to see who adapts, who respects, who waits. This doesn't just test patience. It tests motives. People who are only around when things are easy are parasites in disguise. But those who stay even when you have nothing to offer, they're either fools or loyalists. Machiavelli didn't believe in trusting blind loyalty either. So now you push further. Give an opportunity, a temptation, something they could use to their advantage, a situation where betraying you would benefit them. This is where most people reveal their true face. Give them a chance to take credit for your idea. Share something vulnerable and see if it becomes gossip. Set up a scenario where your absence gives them power, and watch what they do with it. Betrayal often doesn't come with a knife. It comes with silence, with convenience, with choices made in your absence. Machiavellian tests are not games. They're psychological X-rays. You're not manipulating, you're diagnosing. And sometimes, what you'll find is not betrayal, but weakness. Not everyone who fails the test is malicious. Some are just too spineless to be loyal. They bend under pressure. They don't stab you, but they don't stop others from doing it either. They won't talk behind your back, but they'll stay silent when others do. That silence is a choice, and in loyalty, silence is betrayal's first cousin. Now add success to the mix. Nothing reveals hidden enemies like success. The higher you rise, the more they squirm. Fake loyalty is excited when you're below them, supportive when you're equal, but uncomfortable when you surpass. Watch their reactions when good things happen to you. Are they celebrating you or tolerating you? Are their compliments warm, or are they stiff smiles wrapped in shallow praise? And when you suffer, when you fail, another kind is revealed. There are those who vanish in your pain because you're no longer useful. And there are those who draw closer, not for benefit, but because pain is the crucible of loyalty. The ones who only appear when you're strong are drawn to your fire, not your soul. The ones who stay when you're cold, they're rare. They're either dangerous or invaluable. Another Machiavellian trick is confusion. Mix truth with silence. Feed incomplete information. Not lies, but controlled leaks. See what spreads. Loyal people protect what you share not because you asked, but because they understand. Disloyal ones will leak it without knowing the damage. They'll say, "I didn't know it was a secret." But the loyal don't need to be told. They feel it. Their instinct is to protect. The disloyal don't need a reason to betray. They only need an excuse. Loyalty isn't loud. Beware the ones who proclaim it too easily. The louder they shout, the faster they fall. True loyalty is quiet, it's consistent. It doesn't need attention. In fact, it avoids it. It doesn't demand trust, it earns it invisibly. It's not in their words. It's in the decisions they make when you're not looking. Look deeper into patterns. Who is always around when others are? Who disappears when the crowd fades? Who only contacts you when they need something? These are not accidents. These are signals. People's habits are a script. Read them like a strategist, not like a sentimental fool. Because while you're thinking about love, memory, and friendship, they're thinking about leverage, utility, and opportunity. Watch how they speak about others. This is one of the most important signs, because the way someone talks about people who are not present is exactly how they talk about you when you're not around. If they gossip, if they belittle, if they mock, don't think you're the exception. You're just next in line. And the more you share with such people, the more ammunition you're giving your future enemies. Don't confront, observe. Confrontation forces liars to lie better. Silence exposes them naturally. Let them act without knowing they're being watched. That's how truth leaks out. That's how loyalty or betrayal shows itself. When people think there's no consequence, their mask falls. Control your reactions. This is vital. Don't be too fast to cut people off. Machiavelli would never recommend impulsive moves. Strategy is about patience. Let disloyal people remain close, but at a distance. Don't give them power, but let them believe they have your favor. That's when they relax. That's when they expose themselves. The greatest mistake is to remove them too early. You must make them feel safe, irrelevant, and underestimated. Understand this. Loyalty is not about perfection. A loyal person can make mistakes, but they won't hide them. They'll admit. They'll explain. Disloyalty is always followed by lies, blame shifting, or denial. Look for accountability. Look for remorse, not the performance of it, but the weight behind it. When someone is truly loyal, hurting you hurts them too. Not because they got caught, but because they care. There's a final layer to this test, and it's the most brutal one. Give them power, not all at once. A little, a test. See how they use it. Do they share it, or do they hoard it? Do they uplift you, or do they step on you? Power is the final crucible. People don't change with power. They reveal. And once you've seen someone under pressure, under temptation, under success, and under failure, only then do you know who is real. So much of life is wasted on illusions. We surround ourselves with people who smile but silently sabotage, who agree but secretly envy, who cheer but quietly compete. And we blame ourselves for being paranoid. But Machiavelli knew the truth. Paranoia is not always madness. Sometimes it's survival. The second layer of the test goes deeper. Now that you've filtered the surface-level opportunists, it's time to examine the ones who passed, those who stayed close, those who spoke well, those who never broke your silence. But here's the truth. Not all those who pass the first test are loyal. Some are simply better actors. Loyalty doesn't end with silence or patience. That's just the entrance exam. Now you must press into the arena of shared suffering. Create a moment of pressure, not on them, but on yourself. Simulate failure. Show weakness. Let the image of invincibility crack. Just a little. Don't ask for help. Don't speak it aloud. Just let it be seen. The truly loyal won't need an invitation to support you. They'll recognize the shift and move closer. But the opportunists who wear the mask of loyalty will quietly begin to retreat, because for them, your weakness threatens their illusion of proximity to power. This is one of the most painful truths to confront. Some people only stand beside you to bask in your glow. The moment you dim, they drift, not out of malice, but because their loyalty was never to you. It was to the idea of your strength, the power you represented, the image they clung to. When that image fades, so does their presence. That's not loyalty, that's parasitism. So let them see your vulnerability strategically, not all at once, just enough to expose motives. This isn't about manipulation. It's about observing with intelligence. Machiavelli understood that most people serve power, not people. But only by giving them the illusion that your power is fading can you see if their allegiance is to the throne or the person sitting on it. Watch their language in these moments. Do they offer solutions or shift the blame? Do they console you or criticize you? Do they listen or do they vanish? Fake loyalists often use your low moments to push themselves forward subtly. They'll offer help publicly, while privately gathering ammunition. Or worse, they'll speak in ways that reinforce your weakness. You've changed. You're not like before. These are coded phrases for, you're no longer useful to me. Pay attention to those who question your value when you're not at your best. Real loyalty doesn't flinch at your flaws. It knows they're part of your wholeness. Real loyalty isn't shaken by loss, weakness, or failure. It strengthens under pressure. It becomes more silent, more present, more focused, and it expects nothing in return. Because true loyalists don't serve for profit. They stand for principle. Another test lies in competition. Introduce a third party, someone new, someone potentially valuable. Praise them in front of your loyal ones. Celebrate their talent, their mind, their presence, then watch carefully. This is where the poison often rises. Do they support your expansion, or do they feel threatened by your new connections? Loyal people aren't afraid of others joining your circle. They aren't possessive of your attention. They are secure because their bond with you isn't built on exclusivity. It's built on depth. But disloyal ones, they feel territorial. They'll disguise it well, maybe a passive comment, a disapproving glance, a sarcastic remark. But the message will be there. I don't like this new person. They're changing things. In reality, what's changing is their ability to control or influence you. And that's the greatest threat to fake loyalty, the loss of leverage. Now take it further. Ask them to support or praise someone who once opposed you. It doesn't matter whether the conflict is real or staged. This test isn't about the enemy. It's about the reaction. Disloyal people will show immediate resistance, not because they care about your interests, but because they see your enemies as opportunities to secure their own role in your story. If your enemy becomes your ally, their unique position dissolves. They need the rivalry to stay relevant. True loyalty is not bound by drama. It wants what strengthens you, even if it rewrites the past. It forgives strategically. It adapts to growth. It doesn't feed on conflict to justify its value. If someone insists you keep your grudges just so they can feel close to you, they are not loyal. They are addicted to your weakness. They want you stagnant, bitter, predictable. That's not loyalty. That's sabotage disguised as allegiance. The most advanced test is detachment. Begin to slowly distance yourself emotionally, not physically. Withhold validation. Withdraw praise. Let the dynamic shift from you giving to simply being. This isn't about punishing. It's about clearing the fog. Many people remain loyal as long as the emotional currency is flowing. But when the affection fades, when you stop clapping for them, their need for you dries up. Then the true nature reveals itself. See who stays when you stop feeding their ego. See who claps for you even when you don't clap for them. That's loyalty, not mirrored praise, but unconditional presence. Anyone can stand beside you when they're celebrated. The test is who stands with you when there is no spotlight. Look at their ambitions. A loyal person has independent ambition, not one tied to your downfall. Disloyal ones don't just want to succeed. They want to succeed more than you. And if they can't, they want to see you fall. Jealousy disguised as concern is a deadly weapon. They'll tell you to be careful, to slow down, to reconsider. It sounds wise, but it's rooted in fear that you'll outgrow them. Measure loyalty by how people respond to your growth. Growth makes people uncomfortable because it disrupts the balance. The moment you start becoming something greater than what they're used to, they feel like they're losing control. They'll mask it as advice. But Machiavelli would tell you, advice is rarely free of self-interest. The truly loyal don't fear your growth. They don't try to shape it, they support it, even when it leaves them behind. Observe the reaction to your silence during conflict. When you're under fire, attacked, or misrepresented, stay quiet. Don't defend yourself, don't react. Just watch. This is where loyalty or cowardice becomes visible. Who defends you when you're not in the room? Who corrects lies in your absence? Most people only show support when it costs nothing, but loyalty speaks when it's risky. Loyalty defends you not to earn points, but because truth matters to them, even when you're not watching. This is the purest form of loyalty, action in your absence. No credit, no reward, just unseen protection. And it's extremely rare, because in most people, courage dies in silence. They may agree with you in private but stand mute in public. That's not loyalty. That's self-preservation disguised as friendship. Now switch roles. Test loyalty not by watching how they treat you, but how they treat others beneath them. Give them responsibility. Let them manage someone weaker, lower, or more vulnerable. Power over others is the final stage of loyalty testing. Disloyal people become tyrants when given control. They bully the powerless, they abuse trust, and they always excuse their behavior by saying they were doing it for you. But you'll know, because loyalty never abuses power. Loyalty protects downward as fiercely as it protects upward. A real loyalist doesn't just watch your back. They represent your values even when you're not around. They don't speak for you, they speak as you, because they understand your mind, not in words but in spirit. Never forget, many enemies wear the mask of loyalty until the right moment, but they always expose themselves in time. Your job is to give them that time. Don't be quick to judge, let them show you. Don't reveal your suspicions, let them relax. The most loyal people will tighten their guard around you as time passes, because real loyalty grows deeper with access. Fake loyalty grows lazy. Loyalty is not something you ask for, it's something you test for. And the final way to test loyalty isn't through conflict, power, or silence, but through temptation. Give the loyal an opportunity to betray. Not a trap, a real tempting opportunity. One that benefits them, one where you aren't looking, one where the reward is significant, and the consequences feel distant. This is the ultimate test, because true loyalty must be strong enough to overcome self-interest. Offer them influence behind your back, a chance to speak negatively about you, in a room that would reward them for it, a job that puts them ahead of you, a rumor that protects them if they spread it. Watch what they do with it, not just what they say, but how they behave when you are invisible. Anyone can pretend loyalty when the incentives align, but when your destruction benefits them, that is when their soul is revealed. And don't be shocked when most fail this test. Machiavelli didn't trust idealism, he trusted realism. Most people are loyal until a better offer comes along. That is the nature of the crowd. The employee, the partner, the follower. Their principles fold under pressure. But the one who doesn't fold, the one who walks away from betrayal even when it would profit them, that is your ally. That is your mirror. And here's the paradox. That person is dangerous too, because the loyal are rare, and because they are powerful. A person capable of remaining loyal when betrayal benefits them, that's not a weak person. That's someone with deep control, discipline, and self-definition. And if ever you turn against them, they will not hesitate to stand against you, not emotionally, but with logic, because the loyal do not remain attached to fallen values. So if you find that person, do not break their trust, do not lie to them, do not exploit them, because if you do, they will disappear with dignity, and you will never replace them. In the Machiavellian lens, you must protect the rare with as much intensity as you expose the weak, because building a fortress means nothing if the bricks are hollow. The few real loyalists you discover, those are the foundation. The rest are noise. Now let's look at the illusion of loyalty, the version society celebrates. People confuse obedience with loyalty, but they are not the same. Obedience is compliance with power. Loyalty is alignment with values. Obedient people will turn on you the moment a higher power enters the room. They don't follow you, they follow the strongest. This is why kings fall when generals grow bold, why friends switch sides when a rival succeeds, and why employees betray leaders when new leadership offers more. Obedience is conditional. Loyalty is principled. If someone follows you because you pay them, feed them, promote them, they are not loyal. They are rented, and rentals return to the highest bidder. So never confuse yes men with allies. In fact, beware of those who agree too quickly. Agreement is cheap. Anyone can nod. But the loyal ask questions. They slow you down. They challenge you not to control, but to protect. They don't say yes because they fear you. They say no because they respect the mission. But how can you tell the difference between silent loyalty and covert disloyalty? Look at the consistency. The disloyal are inconsistent, sometimes warm, sometimes cold. Their tone shifts based on your mood, not their principles. They mirror your emotions, not because they care, but because they calculate. You can sense their loyalty is conditional. They perform well when you're winning, but avoid eye contact when you're not. It's subtle, but it's there. The loyal, however, are steady. Their energy doesn't change with status. They support you regardless of mood, audience, or reward. They don't disappear when things go quiet. Their presence is calm, reliable, unwavering. That's how you know. Now you must understand the second layer of Machiavellian loyalty, strategic loyalty. This is the loyalty that serves a higher objective. It is not based on love, not based on friendship, but on shared purpose. A general may be loyal to his king, not because he loves the man, but because he believes in the mission. This type of loyalty is stronger than emotional loyalty. It survives personality conflict, stress, disagreement, because it's built on utility, on shared destiny. You want people around you who are loyal to the goal, not the ego. Because ego fades, popularity shifts, but missions, if powerful enough, hold a tribe together even through storms. Strategic loyalty is not warm, but it is enduring. It's the reason some partners stay decades without ever needing to flatter each other. They trust the path, they trust the work, they trust the unspoken bond. And if you can attract this kind of loyalty, protect it with silence, not praise. Let it breathe in the background. Never expose it to applause, because applause breeds attention and attention corrupts. Let the world see your enemies, but hide your loyalists. Never give their names. Never flaunt your circle. Protect their anonymity so no one else can seduce them, because once others know who empowers you, they will go after them. This is the rule of shadows. Loyalty thrives in secrecy. The moment it becomes public, it becomes vulnerable. Also remember, loyalty without competence is useless. A loyal fool is more dangerous than a disloyal genius, because the fool will act with conviction and make mistakes in your name. They will misrepresent you, misuse your trust, and by the time you realize it, the damage is done. So when testing for loyalty, also test for wisdom, for insight, for control. A good loyalist is like a sword, sharp, quiet, and deadly only when necessary. And what about when you must test your own loyalty? Because you are not exempt. A Machiavellian thinker doesn't only test others. He also questions himself. Are you loyal to your values or to your vanity? Are you loyal to your purpose or to your comfort? Do you stay loyal when the world offers you easier paths? Or do you stay when it's painful? The way you stay loyal to your mission is the same way others will stay loyal to you. Model it first, be the standard, and you will attract it. But above all, never beg. A Machiavellian mind is sharp enough to walk away from betrayal without vengeance, without explanation, without theatrics. Let them go, and replace them with silence, not noise. Because loyalty isn't something you shout about. It's something you notice in patterns, protect in privacy, and reward with presence. There are only 5 loyalty tests you need in life. Silence, who speaks when you stop. Suffering, who stays when you're weak. Success, who celebrates without jealousy. Separation, who protects your name in your absence. Temptation, who turns down betrayal even when it benefits them. These 5 filters will expose every actor, every parasite, every manipulator disguised as a friend. You don't need to confront them, you just need to see them. Machiavelli would not have pitied you for being betrayed. He would have blamed you for not seeing it coming. So see it coming. Test the ground before you build the kingdom. Check the foundations before you raise the flag. And when you find the ones who pass all 5 tests, make them your generals, your inner circle, your shadow council, and trust them, but never blindly, because even the most loyal can fall, not always by betrayal, but by fear, by exhaustion, by seduction. So remain vigilant. Power demands it. And if you walk away with one idea, let it be this. True loyalty doesn't need to be proven constantly. It proves itself in silence over time, in shadows. Anything louder than that is not loyalty, it's performance. And you, now trained in the Machiavellian lens, no longer clap for actors.